What is good? Osiris here, stuck in the middle. Thank you for joining. Marjorie Taylor Greene said earlier today that Facebook suspended her account for 24 hours. That's today, January 3rd. This is coming off the heels of yesterday, where she was permabanned from Twitter. Why was she permabanned from Twitter? I want to focus on this word, misinformation. They said it was C, misinformation. What does misinformation mean? Because if I had control of a platform and I had to ban someone, which is not in my nature, but hypothetically, I wouldn't say misinformation. I would give specifics. This was inaccurate. They didn't say that. So part of the definition of the word misinformation is incorrect, but it's also incorrect or misleading. Who gets to decide if information is misleading? Earlier this year, just in December, it's been a long 2022. We're 3 days in. It's been a year. So just back in December, Facebook admitted, due to a lawsuit from John Stossel, formerly from 2020 fame. Is 2020 still on? No, I don't think it is. But I used to watch that with my dad. Correct me if I'm wrong. I don't know if it still airs, but that was one of our favorite shows to watch back when journalism was a thing. Facebook admits the truth. Fact checks are really just opinion. So under the pressure of a lawsuit, the truth comes out. It's just opinion. Okay. Back in October, New York Governor Kathy Hochul said about General Colin Powell, rest in peace. He said about him dying due to the C complication. She said his story cannot be hijacked by the anti-V. Someone who wasn't V'd gave him the virus. Does she know that for a fact? Is that misinformation? Who gets to decide? Well, that's what I want to talk about. Who gets to decide? It's correspond with the battle I said for data. Who gets to own the data? And for example, TikTok earlier this year in June said that they updated their US privacy policy to collect, quote, face prints and voice prints. But it's murky on what that means. You can interpret that to mean when you're on TikTok, they own your face. They can get stuff from your face, expressions, emotions. Oh, there's a lot you can learn from your face and your voice. It's a battle for the information, and it's a battle for who interprets the information. And the reason why I consider myself a populist is because I think that power should be in the hand of the people. Big tech has the ability to put that power in the hand of the people. Minds is a great example. Let me know, holler at me if you are on Minds. I am on Minds. I like it a lot. It's a really good social media site. Really respectfully ran. But look at this option they have for you as a user to build your algorithm. I just want to plant this seed in your head as you're using all these different platforms. And this preferences, and this is what they say, the preferences you set will improve your recommendations over time as the open source machine learning monkeys evolve. Don't worry, it won't impact your default newsfeed. But even Minds could allow you to impact your default newsfeed if they wanted to. I prefer to see opinions that challenge my own, agree or disagree. I prefer to see opinions like mine. Misinformation should be banned. Misinformation should be debated. Government regulation is sometimes required. More personal freedom is better. I love that. YouTube, if you search, this video is about Marjorie Taylor Greene and misinformation. You search Marjorie Taylor Greene. First of all, they just automatically demonetize the video pretty much if you mention Marjorie Taylor Greene, which I find funny. But you search Marjorie Taylor Greene, you will get CNN, Fox News, what they call trusted sources. Big tech has the ability to give you the full power that they have to make any source you want trusted. So I subscribe to a lot of YouTube channels. And sometimes I've only listened to some of these channels a couple times, and I'm like, oh, I forgot the name of that dude. Is it the Southern Prepper, or is it the Patriot Nurse, or who is it? Love those channels, by the way. And it's hard. I would like to be able to go through. Patriot Nurse would be a trusted source for me. Tim Pool, Eric July, these people I talk about a lot, Comic Dave Smith, Tom Woods, Michael Malice, Matt Walsh, Jimmy Dore, Convo Couch, Fiorella and Pasta. They would be my trusted source. Nico House, Kim Iverson. How awesome would that be if you've opened up your YouTube and it's like, these are your trusted sources? Oh, that would be so dope. They have the power. And you know who else has the power? The government has the ability to force big tech to give us the power to decide what misinformation is. Not just trusted sources. They could say, hey, you just got this tweet from Marjorie Taylor Greene. Do you consider it misinformation or not? They can do all that. And you could say, hey, yeah, I don't like this one. Or you can say, I don't mind. Or it might be misinformation to me, but I want to see it. I follow David Dole. I think David Dole is, he's just crisp, man. His audio setup, his video setup, his green screen, the way he sets up I like David Dole's setup a lot. His presentation, I agree with him probably 25% of the time, strongly disagrees 75%. But my point is, I could say, even though I think I don't agree with him, I can still say, no, that's not misinformation. I want to see the other side. Instead of government forcing big tech to do that, government is leveraging big tech so they have control of what misinformation is. That's why they drag that whistleblower in. Whistleblowers don't get dragged into Congress right after they come out. They don't get PR firms that match the press secretaries. That's not how whistleblowing works. Real whistleblowers, you could look at Julian Assange as one. Real whistleblowers lose their job and they have to run to someone who still does journalism like Project Veritas. Why did the government drag that whistleblower out? Because that whistleblower helped them get leverage over big tech. So they can control it, not give power to you and I. So this is what we have to keep in mind. As we might have a red wave, I don't even want to assume anything, but we might have a red wave, assuming integrity and all that. But we need to make sure to force Republicans and Democrats to give us the power. I'm not smart enough to know what it looks like. I'm not smart enough to know all the legal and constitutional arguments. We have a president who is, through executive mandate, trying to mandate everyone take an injection. Figure it out. It's not my job. But I know it can be done by big tech. How to force them to do it is not my job. I don't know. I might look it up, but damn it, you do your job. Politicians, real populists. There should be a red wave, but that's not enough. We need to make them do what we need them to do. And what I need you to do is give me the right, and MTG, I need you to give me the right to interpret what misinformation is. If you don't want to get involved, you could say, hey, do you want to let Twitter tell you who trusted sources are? You could have that option as well. I mean, when it comes down to it, compare Dr. Robert Malone to Billy Gates, you should be able to decide. Do you trust them both? Do you trust one or the other? I think you know where I stand, who I trust more. But at the end of the day, I really trust no one. Let me know what you think. Take care.